Yo babes, what up? So today's video is a kind of combination of a rant and a WTF, what is going on with your life, and a pep talk. So I was having a conversation with a woman the other day about life and about travels and about dreams and about passion and about possibilities and about fears. She was sharing with me how she feels very stuck in her current job situation. She feels like she's working with a job that does not inspire her, that just in a way slowly makes her suffocate, that is like this slowly tightening stranglehold that is still bearable enough so that she can actually breathe, but it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and she wants to get out but she doesn't know how. And the start of this conversation was that she said, I see you, Ronja, traveling all the time and doing all these things, and I don't know how you do it, and I want to do it too, but I'm scared. And I said, what are you scared of? What are you so afraid of might happen? Because it sounds to me like you're clear about that this is not working for you, this job that you're in. And we did have a talk about realigning perspective, because sometimes we're in something and it could actually be fine if we just find a different way of looking at it. But for her it's more like, no, this is not in alignment with who she is. This job that she's in is not in alignment with her true deep desire and calling in this life. And so I said that it seems clear that you are very sure of this, that this is not for you and you want to change it, but what are you afraid of might happen? Because when we want to take a leap in life, then if we feel, or if we believe rather, there will be some kind of big negative consequence if we take that leap, then we are most likely not going to jump. We are going to stay in the safe zone. This is also the law of momentum, that it's easier to keep on going with what we're doing when we're already in it. Same way that it's easy to stay up late in the night and not go to bed, and it's easy to stay in bed late and not get up in the morning, because what we're already doing is easier to keep the momentum going with. So same thing with staying in a job situation that's actually not in resonance with us. And she said, well, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be okay. And I said, girl, are you kidding me? You've already told me how suffocating and suffering you experience your work as in this moment. So you're already not okay. So the only thing you have to lose is your already not okayness. Can you see that? And she said, oh yeah, that's true, I am already not okay. So what is it then? And then she dug a bit deeper and she said, well, I'm afraid that I might be homeless, or that I might lose my apartment, or that I might need to go and live under a bridge somewhere. And I said, okay, let's look at that also. And first of all, realistically, yes, that could potentially happen for people. I mean, there are plenty of people who are homeless in the world, but I said for her, realistically, if you look at your life, is that actually going to happen? Because for me, I said to her, if I would lose everything, if I would lose all the money I have, if I would lose my company, if I would lose everything, what would I do? I wouldn't be homeless. I would have family, I would have friends. And if I didn't feel like it felt aligned to go and stay with a friend or stay with some family members, then I would probably, like, either if I have money to travel to the place or just hitchhike or whatever, you know, create a way of getting there. And there are these places, for example, these farms where you can work for some hours each day and they give you food and accommodation, like woofing around the world. You can Google this stuff up. There are so many creative ideas for how to live without money. So that's not really the issue. So it's like, okay, so the worst thing that could happen, I mean, if you want to go and live under a bridge, you can, but realistically that's not going to happen. You're either going to go and stay with a friend or with a family member, or you're gonna go and work for food and accommodation in this beautiful place in nature, or you meet other traveling people who are on the same path of opening up to more adventure in life. And so all of those things are not actually that bad. And she was like, okay, so what is it? What is it? It's the belief that I can't do it. It's the belief that that's not possible for me. But what I have to say with this is that even that is not an excuse, because if you have limiting beliefs, you can go on YouTube and watch some inspiring videos, you can get a coach, you can learn about how to come into a space where you do feel connected to more possibilities. there are so many different ways that we can bust through these limiting beliefs that are holding us back, as well as, and this has been the number one thing for me, is not so much about going into the beliefs and believing them and seeing how we can break through them, but noticing that there is a space within us that is the one noticing all of the beliefs and the thoughts and the opinions and the judgments and everything come and go. And that is the space of pure awareness, and when we're arrested as that, then nothing can really faze us, nothing can really touch us. I mean, we still become touched, we still feel touched by life, but nothing can bring us down because we are rested as the space in which all of the emotions and everything is happening. So if you feel like you want guidance on helping to bust through limiting beliefs and things that are holding you back, and there is so much help and support, whether it's paying a coach or getting a friend that you feel like, hey, that girl really has it going on for her, or that guy is really seeming to have something figured out, maybe I can ask some tips, maybe I can ask for some exchange for a coaching session or something. Or there's like endless amounts of stuff on YouTube, but then you really have to put it to work and actually do the investigation. When I had one of my biggest shifts in my life, it was when I had really committed to keep on noticing that space of awareness and keep on bringing my awareness back to awareness itself, and becoming less interested in the personality story and the perpetual loop of arguing with reality and wanting things to be different. So possibilities are, in other words, endless. And so looking back in my own life, by the way, because when people say to me, Ronja, you're traveling so much and you're doing all these things, and where do you get the money from, etc., it's like, yeah, but I've done that since before I had any money. For the first 2 or 3 years after starting my company, I didn't really make any money at all, but I just found creative solutions. Like, I was hitchhiking around Europe, I was hitching with like flower delivery trucks between Sweden and Holland and Spain and different places. I was doing exchanges, I was living in a very cheap way, but I just wanted to do this because it was my calling. I felt like I couldn't do it, even though I felt scary, even though I didn't really make any money in the beginning. I felt I have to do this. At the time it was a lot about working with women who had been through sexual abuse, having gone through my own healing journey around opening up in that way. I was sharing that and passing that on to women, and it felt like such a strong and important calling that it didn't matter that the money didn't reflect it at the time, but I kept on going. And if I had, say, 1 year into my company been like, oh fuck this isn't working, you know, this isn't giving me the results that I want, it isn't bringing in the kind of cash that I had envisioned, then if I had quit and been like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna get a job because that feels more safe, you know, that's the rest of my life right there. But I kept on going and growing, and part of the beauty of being an entrepreneur and having your own company is that it requires you to grow in ways that then have repercussions and ripple effects that are much bigger than just being able to pay the rent or buy food or travel to a place that you want. It's really about accessing those reserves of creativity and inspiration and genius that become available to us when we keep on following our intuition, our excitement, our passion, and keep on being willing to look through whatever fears and limiting beliefs might be in the way of the kind of life that we want to live, and also that it's about the journey. And I'll be sharing, I can already feel like how there are other things that I want to share about this, about how to make it about the journey, not about the goal, but I'll save that for another video because we're already hitting 9 minutes right now. So that is basically it. Looking into what is it that you desire, what is it that you want to make this life be about for you, and knowing that that doesn't have to be set in stone. You can always course correct. You'll always be growing and expanding just like the rest of the universe. But feeling into, okay, what is really calling me right now? What is something that I've been putting off that I want to do? A place on the planet that I want to see, somewhere I want to travel, a course I want to take, or anything else, and checking in, why are you not doing that? What is the thing that you're the most afraid of might happen? And is that actually true? Because like this woman that I told you about in the beginning, she was like, well, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be okay, or that I'm going to be homeless. And then just by one simple look, she was like, oh, that's not actually true. Like, no, I could stay with a friend, I could go woofing and working on a farm and get food and accommodation, meet cool people. That doesn't sound so bad actually. That actually sounds better than this deadbeat job that I'm in right now. And so really looking at what is the worst thing that could happen if you went for your dream, and can you be okay with that? And then just begin to follow your excitement in terms of what is the next step. Because if you imagine a set of doors in front of you, and the different options feel like, okay, this feels really exciting, this feels a bit scary but still exciting, this feels boring, this feels like I'd almost rather kill myself than doing this, this feels like super boring. Depending on which one you choose, when you walk through one door, a new set of doors will then open for you. And so keep on following whatever feels like the most expansive choice and the most aligned choice, and watch how a new set of doors, a new set of doors, a new set of doors keep on opening, and you keep on following that, and then 5 steps down the line you'll be in a reality that you couldn't fathom from when you were standing over here. But by following that breadcrumb trail of excitement and expansion and inspiration, that is how life is guiding you into exactly where you need to be. So you don't need to have it all figured out. I promise you, nobody has it all figured out. Everyone starts with a simple dream and a courage to begin to follow that. And then the path opens from there. It begins to unravel itself from there. And you start meeting the right people who have the right knowledge, to have the right connections, to have the right tools. And so that is basically the only thing you need to do. Being vibrationally clear about what you want, opening up for your desire, and then beginning to follow the guidance, whether it's from your heart or from your belly or from just your enthusiasm, and then watch what happens. And if you need support, reach out for support. There are so many people who are happy to help, whether it's hiring a coach or watching YouTube videos or reaching out to a friend. There is an abundance of support here available for you. So if you have any comments or questions, if there's anything else that you want me to cover specifically about this journey of awakening and inspiration and traveling and whatever, then feel free to drop a comment down below, or yeah, just comment down below, share it with your friends, and whatever it is, we can talk about it in another video. I have this "Let's Talk About It" shirt because these are very important topics to talk about. So thank you so much for watching, thank you for tuning in, thank you for being on the path, for being you. I appreciate you. Wish you a beautiful day. Ciao.